to 2. The loser exits the major. Sponge and Machine, over to you.
Thank you very much, fellas. Yes, we're off to the dizzying heights of Vertigo, and both teams with a refreshing approach to leadership. Not only IEM in the ranks of the ninjas, but refreshed from Heroic pulling the strings. An interesting twist as we get into this one. Loser on the way home, 0 and 2, yet to find success in the Legend stage.
I think this is a good yardstick for NIP. Right, a good opportunity to see where they are truly at, because we covered off the Sprout game, and sure, there was a couple of magic moments, but all in all, not a whole lot. And here's Rez. I've seen him miss this several times. Let's see how long he's been lining it up. The burn through the floor, and you can see with the X-ray refresh, will be either flushed back into elevator room or wide into mid, and yep, back it is. So
oh, that's so sly. Look how much damage that's done, and now they can pop into the position and push through the flames. Stare needs to back away. Still refresh, good for the headshot onto Hampus. Stare needs to find more. And jumping through, IEM screaming, multiple bodies on short. They need to activate Rez. They're coming for you. And oof, deleted. Big find out of Stairs. Suddenly flips what could have been a ninja's round. And they do consider the fact that B is wide open.
They're running through A, like very noisily, the CTs. They are just trying to hunt this down, and they've spotted the bomb now.
Yeah, he needs to move. Oh, Brolin. Going for the cheeky round the world maneuver. He just needs to stay distracted. Alexi needs to live. And he needs this headshot. Okay, Brolin, fumble. Big fumble. Butterfingers out of Brolin. Alexi B, firm grasp onto Lonks. Zyphon, last man, needs to be overrun. Somehow this 1v2 becomes a reality. Zyphon saves the day for Sprout Ninjas with a fumble. And Brolin, averting his gaze from the rest of the squad, he's just quietly adjusting his chair, doesn't really want to look down the line.
Yeah, a little bit red-faced in that one right there. But Zyphon, the heads-up play, switching to the Glock once he runs out of ammo. That was tidy work.
I mean, it's hard to track at the back, you know, especially
pistols,
with the movement.
Yeah, pistols in the back, it's always difficult. I know that sounds like a bit of a cop-out, but jump in the server, try it yourself. It ain't easy.
Whew. Refresh is looking at the floor there. He's like, what just happened? Okay, adjusting everything they need to. Of course, this is that opportunity to do so. Long's even pre-aiming the run boost or playing.
Oh, I think he might catch a flash if they were to bounce off the top. So yeah, the run boost is an option that is being considered here. So this is
this is cute. Look at this.
Yeah, this is becoming a little bit of a nice maneuver. I think we saw Eternal Fire run something similar to this.
Kind of cool. Does nothing. Longs farming.
Well, they used a run boost. Just not the airline variation.
Run boost.
So the adrenaline junkies only go for the one outside the map here.
What's the most adrenaline-hungry thing you've done in your days?
Jumped out of an aeroplane.
Oh, that will do.
Bungee jumping.
That'll do.
Yeah, you know, I love
so you don't
scuba
have
diving. We scuba dived.
Scuba was great.
Yeah.
Loved that.
Well, right now, we're somewhat removed from the madness that these teams will be hearing in the ambient sounds, right?
Just the desk was screaming.
They were shouting just to deal with that crowd, right? And in case you're not familiar, it is Big taking on Furia for a spot in the bloody arena. If Furia locked themselves in, holy moly, red beans and ravioli, as our good friend Trace on the Saranthus would say, that is going to light the place up. But first rifle round.
That would be a gift for Counter-Strike as a whole. If Furia can pull that off, it does look like they were a map up and finding the success on the second map of Vertigo, and we are the same. Oof, Alexi first attempted him from a little smoke gimmick, through that ramp smoke aggressive. It's cut short early by Slacks on that MP9. He's considering aggression on that. I don't know if he wants to push off the smoke, go wide on it. He can certainly play around it, throw some bullets down range, nothing to report.
Spastic is looking pretty sexy on that MP9 right there, and there's the tag. Oh, we had a glance. There's still two players on the site, Lonks and Zyphon. That seems like a potent duo to have to deal with. And the boost over the smoke is Slacks. He needs to be careful here. If he stays crouched, he's all good in the hood. The good awareness of the situation there, so do get in and upgrade and out. That's going to bolster the firepower here. I was going to say for the international squad, I suppose that goes both ways. Is it Scandies or Nords? Or one of the two. I always confuse them. I apologize to everybody from Finland, Denmark, and Sweden. As Stare steps forward. Slack's got one, Stare the other. Rez with a tray, but it feels all for naught.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly an interesting discussion had ouch, Stare, double out. on shore. And yeah, at the end for Brolan as well. Nice find, a little damage. Stair makes it 3. Hot prospect is Stair. Finding success on the major stage certainly would be another string to his bow. Never
just
understood
staying
that.
alive here.
Yeah?
I think, right, the fact is, and I don't think Sprout would be too offended by this sentiment, but they were the biggest underdog who made it directly from the road to Rio in towards the Legend stage.
Yeah.
And that has to come with some of the names. Lonks, Stair, and Xiphon. Well, maybe Xiphon not so much. We've seen him with the Copenhagen Flames previously. I should have said Slacks. It's the first major for those 3 names.
Rez, forward position. Nade looks destined for glory. Evaded by Alexi. This is a strong setup. I like Stair's position. Slacks just to catch the slip through short. If anyone wants an answer towards Crane, they would be punished. And there it is. Perfect. Trap sprung. Brolan 1. Could find Slacks. It could get awkward, but Refreshers immediately filled that void. Very reactive defense. You can see just how many CTs congregate now and look to sweep through for the clear. Couple of shots through the tarpaulin, leaving Refresh wanting a nice find. With Alexi gone, Hampus shouldn't have anything more to say about this one. A fast flank and a quick spray. Xiphon wraps it all up, and a couple of AKs hoovered up as well. Refreshed, Launch, both equipped with that advanced rifle. But yeah, for the Ninjas in Pyjamas, we heard Rez discussing it in the interview, is this transition into English. Alexi B obviously not quite attuned to the Swedish.
Yeah, and I don't know about Esatag either. I don't know how far he got on those lessons, did he?
Yeah.
If you want to believe what the camp has to say, and I guess that's all we can do is take their word for it. They were communicating somewhat in the Svenska. And over towards A, this time a bit more pep in the step with the util behind it. Brolan peppers down immediately, 28 points of health, and that's just from util. So his march is stalled and Stairs isn't.
This looks great. This looks great from Sprout to start us off. Nice one back from Esatag. Gives NIP just some depth to this round. He's actually taking space as well. Look at that. He's already up. And to be swept through, Xiphon unawares of the advanced position of Esatag that could and should translate into a lost sight. A missed shot out of that AWP. Slacks naded down to half. Refreshed to react. Stair already there.
Bomb's coming back now.
Oh, cross that. Not in the right place, but Esatag still advanced position. Oh, Esatag. He's back the right horse, looking the right way, and another quick headshot. Big from the Dane. 3 in the round. Finally goes down, but he's enabled the Ninjas to get that bomb in. Refresh looking to get the Ninjas out of the sight. Headshot angle. No slouch on the rifle. AWP in play. Slacks might have a good shot if he does take that peek, and repositioning into that AWP shot. Nice find. Leaves Hampus. And he's gone too. Big recovery from Sprout. All of that heroics from Esatag for naught. A triple kill, solo take of the site, and they get nothing to celebrate.
Yeah, it felt pretty good, right? And he was also playing ahead of that smoke. It was a little bit of bait right there, but Stair awares to clear that out. This is where the fight went down towards the ramp. So it was actually Refresh, right? Stair actually was ready for the duel, but was unable to convert it. And Lonks, he loves that. The 17-year-old. Mentioned him when we were casting the other day. I'm not sure everyone's tuned in for every single Sprout game, but this guy was on the list for ENCE to be picked up as a replacement for that of Spinks. Couldn't get him out of the hands of Sprout, and well, the same can be said for Astralis, who wanted Stair to join the Danish ranks. Now, middle is where the fight's coming in this AWP for Slacks. Warning shot, and that means Xiphon will fall.
Fights away. Fights his way. Digs his way out of trouble. More. Wow. To return to the angle.
Brave.
Very brave, and it may translate. Alexi has the bomb on his back. It's unlikely he wants to be taking that engagement. More just containment at this point. Four on four.
Bit of info over towards A. Stair is still jiggle peeking from the top of the gap position. You can see this here. So has a decent idea. He can't be 100% certain, and that block smoke is also going to try in front of them, more so up the ramp. So taking a little bit more of a liberty.
That's his util set. He's got more, actually. A nice nade. Just a bit shy. Stair not shy at all, though. Look at him, still peppering all his utility used to delay. And it's leaving the Ninjas with some options. Oh, ESL asked to do the same again. Lonks, jumps and caught. Big punish from ESL again. Dump the util, rotate on its way. Can the ninjas break through this time? Slacks to disrupt. Would love one on the way in. Opportunity presents itself on the re-clear. Damn, flatlined by Alexi. Second time's the charm for this ninjas B take. Toes exposed. Rez snaps a picky. And that is the first for the ninjas.
Wonderful shot there from Rez to close it out, and immediately that's going to force a timeout out of Sprout. I like it. I like the fact that they take the timeout as soon as they drop around here. You've got 4 over the course here of regulation, and that's per team. 30-second chit-chat for the coaches and the coach of Sprout, Berry. Individual who's at least given the props for finding some of these talents.
Yeah, he's managed to hold on to some of them now.
Yeah, there's no longer the farm team.
Yeah. I'm sure it must get under your skin, even though if it is a kind of a component of the ecosystem, of the team you represent. It's got to feel good when you get to actually hold on to these, you know, budding stars and see just how far they can climb. I mean, the fact that they did so much damage at the qualifier, the road to Rio, they managed to secure legend status, is, you know, already testament to what these individuals are capable of at their peak. Well,
moved into a technical timeout here, just trying to dissect exactly what's going on. So just an in-ear issue. This is one of the factors, right? And when we talk about experience and we talk about big events, and this is what a lot of the players on Sprout are lacking here, is all of these little tiny details. Maybe the uninitiated at home, they're not sure why they see the headset over the top and then the in-ears underneath. Well, the headset over the top is to provide white noise, noise cancelling, and the microphone to avoid the outside world, right? Right now, behind them, they will be hearing, well, no, they won't be. That's the whole point. The crowd, right? The rumbles of the Furia versus big game that's going on right now. You want to make sure that they can get all of those juicy little details. But playing with in-ears, when normally at home you have a different headset, maybe it's a little bit more comfy. Right? These things, after 3-4 hours worth of play, let me tell you, it can start to sting a little, getting pressed in towards your head, and that's something that you have to be familiar with. And now we're going into best of 3, the first best of 3 for Sprout and NIP at this major. And it's about who's going to feel more comfy. Now, Alexi B, alongside of Rez, and I suppose the lion's share of NIP here, quite experienced in this regard. Definitely more experienced than Sprout.
Yeah. Certainly, but if our previous best of 3 is anything to indicate, experience isn't the only thing it takes to prevail. T's side looking for a second round. Hampus looking determined out mid. Slacks already, puts Brolin in a grave, and Refresh as well. Deals with the threat of Hampus. 2 to the good. Still smoked off. ESL has been their win condition. As it currently stands, the 2 rounds they've looked threatening on these rifles has been off the back of an ESL frag. But towards 8, Alexi B. And Rez demands a smoke, so he's got a game plan, but Slacks is in a position to disrupt. Ooh, safe from the flame. Stare with Slacks. Keeping him at arm's length. If you do mantle up, Slack should have you. But be careful, Rez is flirting with an execution. Stare, safe, Slacks, miss. Into the site now, ninjas. Still 2 extra players. Make it 1 for Sprout, and getting a bit flustered are the ninjas. They want to get that bomb down, puts Rez out of action. ESL still clears Stare. And now, advantage changing hands. Alexi fires off a warning shot. One Siphon does see ESL at least trade. And he's standing his guard. Again, impact from the Dane. 2 frags. Looking for a third. Advancing in as a unit. Refresh low. Slither gap. Rez on that off. Good for his first in the feed, but now he has to come up clutch. Has the AK to play with as well. Refresh finds a smoke. That makes things interesting and awkward for Rez. Oh, he smoked it off short. Rez, the presence of mind to go around the world, but still it's a safe defuse. It's a safe defuse. Rez needs it now, just in time. Saves the day. Good awareness of that defuse angle. Does get it. Seems composed throughout, but what a hectic round that was.
As soon as the smoke plumes on the bomb, you're on high alert right there as an individual, right? You're not calm anymore. And the fact that Rez was able to find him there, very well done. Not allowing this lead to get out of control here. And this was after the opening exchanges. Hampus just ran out mid. He went down immediately, and I just want to talk a little bit through the logic in a round like that. Sprout have been starting 3 towards A, at least with the setup, and maybe 2B or 2 middle, and Hampus was just trying to exploit one of the gaps, right? If the gap wasn't B, well, then maybe it was mid. He did just get pantsed.
Yeah, excited to see this res T side up. And there it goes. That's the end of that. Stair finishes it with a beautiful 1-2 punch. Deep nade, spray, and down he goes.
Does AlexiB want to come back and try and find this? He only has a Mac 10 to his name at the moment. Apparently not, so investigating towards the B lobby. Lonks is now passive towards the default box back of the site. Xiphon and Refresh not too far away to try and contribute to all of this.
Seems like the change of plans.
Esatag's done great work in this position, so maybe it's just about pulling a little bit of attention over towards A now and seeing if Esatag can activate that smoke on the stairs. That will buy a bit of time and apparently send Esatag packing. So we ping-pong between the sides and the classic AlexiB going A and going B in the same round. They've got this boost.
Stair hearing an awful lot. Re-smoke onto short side. Good timing on that. Attention, though, can now be focused on this boost. Brollan, he considered it, but still goes down. Big find out of Stair. Not going to force any rotates with a maneuver like that. Hampus trying to find a way back into the site. AlexiB had one pot shot to fire off, and yeah, this one's just falling into place perfectly for a Sprout Sig. Fight in unison, beautiful from Xiphon, a double for him. And very even kill distribution. Every member of Sprout bar 1 has 8 frags.
And it's Lonks, who's one of the names, the youngest name, mind you, who's at the top of the list as far as conversations go. Timeout call. This will be the first on the NIP side of the server. DJL, the coach behind, you can see him marching orders. And Berry, he doesn't feel the need to stand up. He can sit back, relax. They have this 4-round buffer. He's pretty chill.
I wanted to remind myself of how the Ninjas found themselves here. Like how...
Outsiders and Fnatic.
But how close was my question? 16-13, 16-12. So, you know, arguments likely to be made throughout that best of 1 that there was a competitive game of counter being played. Counter-Strike, a cruel mistress though. 2 best of 1s down. You find yourselves against the ropes. A reverse 3 best of 3 sweep required. Not easy.
No, I'm just checking in right now on that Furia big game as well. I don't want to give anybody any spoilers, so we can touch base on that as we move forward. But I'll let you know things are looking good.
Hello, looking good for a quickie. Stair does dump his nade. Ooh, Alexi is ringing after that barrage of utility. I have to pull the plug on that one. Brollan had the choice to make, either surge forward or join the pack. Does opt for the latter.
Using this smoke here, it's a great way to get towards Sandbag, but Xiphon on the flank. And, well, giving him a bit of a spank. The trades will come back either way, but right now, ooh, hold up. I was about to say this is heavily favoring the side of of Sprout, but now NIP draw this one back into a 2-on-2.
No rush on this, but it feels like the Ninjas are. Just group up, as will the CTs, and ring
trading
around
places.
the Rosie, Refresh and Lonks. Clearing through. This could be bad info if they don't immediately plant or make a sound cue. Oh, Ampus, bottom exposed and spanked. Lonks finds another. And poor Brollan just doesn't have the health for this one. Refresh has got one side. They got a good idea of where he comes from. And 3 to the good. We do see 7-2. This is a good start for Sprout.
You said bad info. All the bad news was in the previous game. This is looking like pretty good news for Sprout. A commanding lead, and here's the thing, if NIP find themselves in situations where they're down and they have to battle back, we understand, we've already highlighted this picture time and time, it is becoming one of the key talking points here at IEM Rio for 2022, it's just these CT massive leads, the Ts cobbling together a couple, and then doing the same thing once they get to swap sides. It's a game of 2 halves.
Has it ever been this heavy?
In 1.6, yeah.
And beautiful, Esatag's always got smooth moves, but nothing to report on those B stairs.
These type of comebacks that you're seeing at this event, it was a consistent
mainstay.
Nuke, if you got a 12-3 half, you were happy on the D side. you were happy with 3 rounds.
So we're really rolling it back in 2022 a bit.
Yeah, but this is different. It hasn't been like this throughout the year. We've definitely had more tussles. This event, for whatever reason, and I'm sure there's a couple of smarter minds than mine who could be picked about having this discussion. I'd love to hear from the teams and what their thought is. Maybe is it the pressure of the environment? Is it really the fact that these M4A1Ss are just so overpowered? Are the teams at a level now where the CT side, the favorable side, are just too strong?
Lovely. That's the punishment from Alexi. First bullet out of the gun, loses his life as he goes alone. Still trades on short side, less attack profits. Jumping through and across, that's positive sign. Still Xiphon a threat over the smoke. He does go down as well. Bomb planted. Yeah, spoke too soon. All shut down, all wrapped up, and neat and tidy for a Sprout CT win out. 8 already under the belt. That was just a conservative one. We will get to see the weapons back in hand. But yet to see too much evidence that the Ninjas have got depth to this T side. Win conditions, seemingly, about these openings as well, despite Alexi not being able to translate this one into a victory. Good work out of ESL.
Yeah, the Dug finding some action there, but not enough. And you talk about the fact that we are looking at Vertigo T side. Well, that spells one thing, NIP's map choice. And this is, well, not a great start, but there's still enough time to turn things around as Sprout will take a second tactical timeout to have another conversation. So 2 used within the first half already.
Okay.
I'd like to question that, but things are going well, right? You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Very, very happy with proceedings thus far.
Yeah, I mean, if they can find this final run on the CT side, it really does make life very difficult for the Ninjas, no matter how good your defense is.
Need a few more opening kills here. Only 2 to their name in total thus far on this T side, and one of them came in that previous with the Tech-9s, and that doesn't fill too many people with confidence at all.
It's a change up, and that is 2. Brolin has taken down Stare on his ramp aggress. Important and impactful frag. You can see his corpse there, so context as to where the Mighty have fallen. Slacks advancing, wants to fill that gap. Knows Brolin likely looms around the corner.
Not just Brolin, look at this.
Bloody hell.
Congregation.
Yeah, he has support. He has the AWP. Quick one. Round the corner. Tucks into the girder. Calls for refresh to sweep
He's going to peek.
He is. He's looking naughty. Oh, punishment. Refresh. Absolutely no idea where that bullet was coming from. Rez will finish him off, but okay.
Seeing ghosts?
Faces on, yeah, definitely. Rez will smoke one side, Hampus will smoke the other. Do they commit? This Swedish duo likely transition now. Back into Svenska. Flank. Coming in hot. And successful. God, NIP just looked completely...
And it's Xiphon on the flank again.
Yeah, it's another great timing on the flank. Xiphon's got a real bit of confidence, a bit of pep in his step on the CT side. Nice start of the 1v3, but Hampus caught out. And Sprout continue to blossom on this defense. 9 already. Ninjas, they've been given these timeouts by virtue of Sprout, but every time they call one, they seem to be able to keep those hatches locked.
Yeah, and this right now is actually starting to get worrisome, I would say, because the fact that they're able to body bag them in this fashion, NIP on their map choice, having a very rough go of things. And look, the only time we've seen this team play was the RMR, and then they played a smaller Swedish tournament where they played against Eyeballers, which is JW and Flush's team. So in terms of what to expect from this squad, it's what they did in their boot camp. And we all know with some big role changes, Hampus from in-game leader to star fragger, Alexi in the team to be the new voice, Rez from star rifler into AWP. We didn't know how this one was going to settle, but Sprout do. Another opener. Stare this time. Waves goodbye to Brolin, who has to sit and watch. Slacks on the other side of things will find ESL. And Alexi, yeah, you've got the space, you've got the room, but do you have the shots? The first will land, but it's going to cost you an awful lot. 22 points of health.
Chuck that to someone a bit healthier, perhaps. The AK-47, their best hope. Deagle for Rez on the exit back through. I love this from Refresh. Very heroic-esque, actually. Just immediately solo sweeping, confirms suspicions. And now the bomb is under Lorx. He gets to play on this railing. A real sharp tool in the Sprout shed. And L on their forehead. Ninjas down 2 rounds to boast as we are getting to the, well, the end of this first half, and Sprout really are starting to run away with it. 13, that would be a stretch too far for the Ninjas to win their map.
Yeah, and I know the desk was obviously talking about NIP being the favorite here, definitely with the type of games that they've played compared to Sprout, the experience, what we should be expecting for the namesake of both of these teams. There's a lot of things that stack up in the favor of NIP. The problem is the lack of reps. If you look at the reps that Sprout have had since August 15th, I think I just actually nailed that off the top of my dome when Refresh and Zyphon were announced to the team. I think they've already played 60+ maps together, like officially. And sure, it's been against Tier 2, Tier 3 online realms, but that's the reps that NIP do not have.
And it establishes all of these fundamentals, your preferences, your approach. Everything's a bit more refined, ironed out. And this is a mid-hold that's going to get flashed off. Nice dink from Refresh despite the full flash. But you expect this off angle from Zyphon. He's a sharp one. And they're changing hands. Hampus will be the first to fall if they do just try to crawl. Need a trade. Coming now. Turns the flash. Zyphon. Ooh, not ready for Alexi. And so the Ninjas. Advantage continues. It's extended instead and heading into B. Slack's on the wrong side of the map. And yeah, hold on. Hold on. Loud
He's
on
hurt,
this.
surely.
Yeah, Rez is going to have him. Or not. Awkward, perhaps. Still, Stare, trying to be a smart one.
One way here. Another retake into the B side with a one-way smoke to try and manufacture something. Slax is noisy about this too.
Yeah, they're both coming through. Just having a little look. Looky Lou.
Is he going to keep the AWP for this? Takes the pot shot. They should know that both are here now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that might be where it ends.
Yeah, save is the correct call, but still having a look. Still flirting with the idea. Maybe damage was what they had at the top of that laundry list. There it is. NIP will break back through. It's been a streak of 5 since. And this is the first in those, well, now 6 rounds where the bomb has gone down. So a bit of a change in conversation. Sprout playing for the later stages here, or the latest stages, as there's 2 more rounds remaining. Just making sure that everybody can buy for this. There can be drops available for Longsu as the lightest. Zyphon would love to get a weapon in his hands as well, so he can get full util behind it. And Refresh, just as we were talking about the nice setup they had, he overextends onto his own. Zyphon tries to draw it back. Alexi B, seeing the fear in Zyphon's eyes, chases him and removes him, and it's Brolin to get that kill onto Long. So this is a round where all the dominoes fell in favor of NIP.
And if they can do it twice more, 10-5 is a very functional half. After all this hardship, Sprout can't let go. They have to keep this tug-of-war going, make them work for it, make them sweat, make them question that second half, and all Stare again. Aggression cut short. Launx could have a little bit of impact here. He's lost Zyphon as well. Everyone hitting their shots. One and not done. Tag posting his first of the round. Supportive util all the way from spawn. Hampus trying to facilitate. You can see that they don't have all the bells and whistles, but yeah, definitely making sure.
Nobody home here, Refresh. If he'd taken the chance to try and head over towards B and stalled them out before they're able to fortify the defenses and get this bomb down, the conversation could be had about attempting this 2-on-X, whatever it could have become, but now it has to be yet another save. And while the economy game plays into Counter-Strike at any stage, broken late, that 10-5 seeming likely here. Will be the 1900 into the next. Slacks, if he survives, will be able to drop a rifle. That's going to be about it. Refresh, hook somebody up with an MP9 if you'd like. Ooh. So it's still going to be a little bit tasty. But NIP, this is them taking care of business. Slow, they're wearing them down, they're winning the necessary fights. And this one started with an opening kill from Brolin through the smoke onto Stare.
Yeah, it's
and if we
twice.
check back in, they have actually been able to start leveling out in that opening kill department. They have a total of 5 under the belt for NIP. And well, they grab one more, make it 6. Maybe they could have 5 rounds. So slow and steady wins the race. Nice shot from Alexi there. And yeah, look, they were prepared. It was great from Tag to look for that little combo, maybe something they identified in watching back the demos. But yeah, those guns are being scooped up now. Lonks into an MP9, a Famas for Zyphon.
That's serviceable for sure.
They can make this work. Run boost, here it is.
The run boost on the gun round. NIP launch S-Attack around the corner. Launks with a flash right in his face as well. Blinded and not afraid to take the fight. Great tap out of S-Attack. Zyphon with the remedy. Brollan deals with refresh on the aggress. And okay, NIP looking set for a 10-5.
Slax can get a lot of information over towards A right now. He's posted up with his AWP towards the top of the ramp. So that means that Stair and Zyphon can play in unison. They can play together, they can try and lock down B, but will have to trust themselves here. Stair addressing middle just in case anybody slipped the net, which means it's truly all on Zyphon in this initial exchange.
A lot of talking out of Alexi. And this two-man defense from Zyphon and Stair certainly has legs. They've got enough Molotovs to flush out that quad position. Zyphon's already getting confirmed nothing close, so he will go close to that spray. This is ballsy now. Alexi does eliminate the threat. Stair now in jeopardy. Eating flashes, about to be swung on by multiple bodies. He still does take two with him, or at least Brollan takes himself out of the equation. Still Slack's handed a 1v2, and he has managed to get closer. On the way in off the flames. Needs to hit the first. Does so. Hampus around the generator and yeah.
Yeah, I think here it's about does Sprout have legs? Because we know NIP, the individuals in the server, they've been in situations like this before. And we know that they can pull themselves out of the deep, dark hole. So the favorites here, as reflected by the odds at the top of your screen, kick off the CT pistol with dual Berettas ×2. Brollan and S-Attack to wield those bad boys as Slax has an opportunity to joust with the P250. Now the first pistol round slipped just through NIP's fingers. Remember Brollan with the shots to the back of the head, not quite connecting. Well, he can make up for that right here, right now. 5 kills at the moment.
No hope of flushing him out without a direct clear. Those dual Berettas on B did nothing, and Day the same. Good tap out of Slax. Now they can advance. Ooh, everyone's hitting the shots. Just Slax on this P250, long range. Levels the odds against the USP. Slax could have another. Careful, Alexi, you're playing with fire. And he's playing with Hampus. Gets a good shot back. Zyphon again, deleted. Alexi trying to make it 2 pistols for the boys. 2-on-2. Up and over. Spots out refresh. Elevated onto Stair. Still combined. 2v1. Not easy now. Alexi only has 16 points of health. He'd need 2 quick, clean kick clicks. And it's not to be. Stair just dancing with him. They know it's a fake. And they'll just rot that clock. Horrible scenario for Alexi. Good headshot. Maybe he could hunt the last, but he doesn't have the time nor the kit for the finish.
They're both going to go down with the bomb here, I think, Alex.
Just gonna fall. Refresh will take him down. But look how good that feels. Smiles on their faces as they take both pistols.
We have to really give props to Slax here. He doesn't normally get a whole lot of hype within this team, right? Having the role of the AWPer, it's a difficult position to be in. But when we're talking about these plucky riflers, Stair, Zyphon, of course, Lonks, well, Slax, he's the difference maker in this pistol with some very, very nice shots on the P250. And that's both pistol rounds. They're having a giggle. They're having a good time. Just dancing with Alexi there at the end was refresh.
The atmosphere looks great over there on Sprout.
Ah, that makes sense when you're 11-5 up. And if you win this force by, you are not too far away from securing map #1 and keeping your major hopes and dreams alive. Every game for Sprout, I think they feel this is a bit of a blessing. And there's definitely more pressure for the NIP side of things. Even though this is one of their first big events together as a team, they still come in as the favorites.
Yeah, name value goes a long way. As does experience typically, but this has been somewhat of a explosive event. Nothing is a certainty. Everything hangs in the balance of these players, these individuals' decision-making. Hampus going for the crazy maneuver, yeah. Toppled by Zyphon, nice from Brollan, very nice from Brollan. Rez as well is there. At least for one, they know he's likely towards the sandbags. You can see they're looking for utility. Is there anything they can flush him out with? No Molotov, and look at this. A 2-on-2, Slack still with impact to be had. He's gonna flash him. Does nothing.
Alexi has a flash as well. Might enable Rez here. That looked like the conversation they were having. When does Rez call for it? Alexi can set him up for more.
Sprout vulnerable. Flash, cocked and thrown. Rez, chance, and successful for damage. Both low and now scarpering.
They know both were at this site. Is Alexi going to make noise and try and rotate back over towards B? Currently not moving a muscle from the heaven position. They're ahead of this right now. Sprout should be able to waltz on in. Alexi, can you stop them?
Oh, his hesitation may cost him. He is across just in time, as is Refresh. Good crosshair placement. Bombs planted. Can't seem to fight.
That
does knock him off and wins the round for the Ninjas. Survival for Rez, and the Ninjas in Pyjamas are going to take round 2 of our second half by a gnat's wing.
That is wild. Absolutely wild.
Good work from Alexi.
Yeah, that flash, they understood the situation. They knew that they didn't want to go into both players. They had enough time to rotate over, but they did not have enough time to safely plant there. And that one is going to sting. Roland made this possible. And you can see that little trap. Refresh, he goes down after time as well there. And that one's close. It's hard to celebrate a round like that, but it is a victory in the NIP column as they take their second time out to have a conversation. That will enable Berry as well here. You can see quite clear with the orders, and this is the way that the game will be shifting. Right? More and more, we're 20 years deep in Counter-Strike. Coaches, they haven't even been here for that long, and the fact that they get to contribute in these 30-second spurts to send the team in the correct direction, these are the puppet masters. This is what the in-game leaders of now will become in the near future.
They will continue to battle for economic supremacy in this one. Of course, when you are within touching distance of the 16th, you've got strong individuals. You want to try and implement a victory as quick as possible. So 3 CTs A. Launks, headshot, hunting. God damn, crosshair wasn't far off. Aim punch does hit, as does ENCE tags MP9. Straight to the face.
Okay, well, Logs from B, helping out the boys in mid.
He gets another one. No one's going to catch it, and Stair just needs to live. Oh, can't say the same for Longs. Lovely bowling from Hampus.
I was going to start highlighting, like Hampus can't really flash to enable, but the nade, that will do the trick. Now that bodies have been spotted towards that mid corridor and you're hearing these deagles sound off one after the other, just don't put your head in the vice. You do not have to overstep the margins, especially now that you have the number advantage to work with. Sprout, they're the ones who have to bring the fight to you.
Poised with the Desert Eagle, and just investigating is Hampus, hoping to bait for an overcommit. Now, they don't have utility bar, one flash. Stair is with the pack, and it might be their go sign. Oh, if he gets that smoke and gets away, little bad, little deep, still working well. Ninjas for a spotless find and looking to close this gap considerably if they do find this, as they currently have. Just no casualties. Keep the cash flowing.
Boys, 15 seconds, run on in and die. I know you want to try and get something out of this here, but worst case scenario, you go down after time, and there you go. They will oblige. Thank you very much. It says Esther and Hampus. They'll grab a couple more kills between the two of them. And as you were mentioning, this is now the eco for Sprout. So NIP set for their 8th round, and it should come very, very easily. And this is where the differences start to come in, right? When you deal with a team like Sprout versus a team like NIP, even though one has definitely played more officials than the other, the experience factor, the sweat under the brow, right? The dramas as making, or indecision, right? It's not even about a bad decision, it's lack thereof in certain scenarios. And when you have players that are so young, Refresh is the oldest member, 24, 23 for Slacks, 18 for Stair and Xiphon, and 17 for Lonks, right? These are names that we've seen play some great Counter-Strikers. Rez is being offered up a bit of a vending machine of HEs here. Doesn't find anything at all. So there's 600 bucks down the gurgle. Let's make it 9. And that one will find a slight bit of chip damage. So Rez, you'll be checking at the tail end of this and you'll go, oh, I only did, I don't know, what, about 40 utility damage?
Oh, Roland's having fun. Rez the same. Perfection from the Ninjas. Gap is closing rapidly.
Just trying to think if I know any Swedish here to help NIP. Nice little punchline. All I've got is Lit Nugla.
That sounds rude.
Little Owl.
Ah, Lit Nugla.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I just know that sugar is socker.
Okay.
That's all I've got.
Shout out to all the Swedes out there. We tried our best.
And what I love you.
Run boost on the ramp. Look at this.
Flying through into Stair, who actually gets one back. A little bit of a return, bit of a revenge. Brolin was catching him, and this time it does go traded. Still ballsy on res.
Brolin, if he landed that one, maybe that could be called the little little maneuver right there. But
implement the little owl. Longs is at the bottom of the scoreboard. Obviously one of the most exciting prospects of Sprout, but on this T side, still room for him to start popping heads. We saw this exchange with him before. Esotag did hit it, but obviously now it's a lot more than just that pistol.
This is where the mid-round calling really comes into play for Refresh, who is also a young in-game leader. Removed from that of Heroic, got to play under the tutelage of Cadian, but now under the watchful eye of Berry. A good coach to learn the ropes from, or at least be able to implement the plan.
Yeah, he's got faith in the talent he scouts.
Feels like B is a no-go zone for the next 20 seconds, but maybe that's why Sprout are starting to gravitate over, knowing this smoke is going to fade. None left on the board here for NIP.
It's a tag. He's got a safe angle from the spray, and he looks for a peek off the flash. Does spot Longs, eliminates the threat, and falling apart now. Ninja's flanking. Down goes Slacks, and down goes the round.
Yeah, well, constricting them here. Bit of an anaconda maneuver right there. I know we're in Rio. Make their way through the back line. Grab Sprout, completely strangle them out of this. And Zyphon, he does have 17 kills short, but he won't be finding too much more. No need for Alexi to go too much further. We'll get the upgrade into the AK-47, and now it's just a 2-round game. Remember, Sprout won the pistol round. They won both pistol rounds here. And the second round of this second half falling against them. And now you can see the trouble they're in. Emergency hit the big red button. Berry, can you save us? Well, likely to be a partial investment with the loss bonus maxed out here going into round 22. This AK for Zyphon. Really like the aim on this kid. Was surprised to see him get picked up as one of the last pieces of the puzzle. Hooks you over towards G2, couldn't even make it towards the Major. Nikos and Roy, as we've seen over there with Fnatic. Yabi as part of the Heroic roster, and the coach, Vorborg, even had a stint here with EG. Zyphon, he's a sharp kid. He's definitely got the aim to boot, and let's see if he can crack this one open and try and help out Sprout to get back in the winning ways.
I mean, Alexi gave an NIP the red carpet return with that second round clutch. Knocking him off the bomb, and okay, well, clear intent, that's for sure. Firing off shots and looking at both doors. It's Esotag's domain on B, both on T and CT. He seems to have an affinity for that site.
Well, Longs has said, hey, listen, I'm getting bullied. Esotag, he continues to bot me over here, so come on over and let's see if we can sit this old man on his ass.
Speculative taps out of Hampus. Esotag up on the lip of that catwalk. Flash to the face from Zyphon, still cool as a cucumber. And that's that AK. They really did hit that big red button. Now Zyphon needs this on the AK through the flames. He'll only get the one. Humbled now, hard to retrieve. Looking to do so was Esotag, or rather Refresh, excuse me. Hampus fills the void, still a crossfire on B. Should be a clean house for the Ninjas. Ahead of it, nice adjustment. Still perfect smoke out of Hampus just to completely limit their options. An easy collect onto Slacks. And Sprout sent back to spawn with not too much to boast, as this NIP consecutive run is starting to get a little imposing. 5 rounds, convincingly so. Taking a quick look at how close they got. There was, of course, that second round from Alexi, and then everything else, it's been pretty one-way traffic. The highest they got was 2 frags over this run from the Ninjas. Sprout just lacking the fundamentals, and well, we got everything you could possibly desire.
But other than for poor Zyphon, who did save, right? So for him, the loss bonus is there, sure, but he's going to be a little bit lighter on, and that's where he would either consider a Galil or an AK without any utility, apparently. So I don't think he's going to be a key component of throwing utility in a round like this. He doesn't even have any, as they are contained early, jumping down. Did Slacks catch that? Doesn't matter. Stair did, and will get away. That's an opener. Profiting here with Rez's aggression, and oh, Slacks blind off the line again. Getting peppered away out here, chunked down to 43. But they're walking into B. This double man setup in mid from Hampus and Esatag has given so much room to sprawl right now for Lonks and Refresh.
Letting him in.
Oh,
ooh, he still hits it. Worth his weight in gold is Zyphon, and Hampus not ready for this. So far forward, Lonks is in, as our Sprout. Bomb down. Alexi, well aware of the presence close. Lonks hasn't moved too far. Refresh will peek off. It doesn't matter if Stairs already found you. And Brolin just looking to save what he can, but that is a promising sign. Stopping this runaway train.
Really fired up right there, Lonks, knowing that they're back into winning ways here. At the hype of the kids, it's going to be at an all-time high round after round. They have to do that several more times in a consecutive fashion if they want to knock NIP over here.
What was the difference here? Well,
the opening kill over towards A-Ramp from Stair was key, right? And that right there came in and they got away. That was one of the key factors, was the opening kill, but also the hedge, right? To play two players middle and nobody over towards that B bomb site.
Right, they probably won't be going for that one again, especially when Zyphon still manages to get one before you can click him. Sandbags, Roland aggressive as well on the girder. Spray through. Lots of bodies behind that smoke. Speculative shots, still 9 in the mag. Turns the flash, desperately searching his Slack, still can't find a thing. Deep smoke available should they require, and it does look like it's going to be a rather standard opening.
Resmoke deployed right now. This is going to buy even more time. Brolin, yep, had to be so careful. You can see he was looking through the gap as well, but that orb should have leveled the playing field. Rez has found Zyphon this time round, deploys the one-way in a stylish fashion, and he can actually look under this. Slacks still trained with the scope. I don't think you'll get another bite of that cherry.
Nice nade, should be good damage. Yeah, right onto the most vulnerable member. Refresh down now on 10 HP.
Hold them back at least, and it's only one pair of footsteps being heard below. Esatag is searching right now towards the top of the Tetris box towards B, so he's calling things relatively clear. That means this rotation does not have to move from NIP. They can stay pretty strong on towards A and even take the fight.
Okay, that works too. Rez extends their advantage. Sprout was so loud, so hyped. They did manage to prove to themselves they got a T round in them, but this one, with 20 seconds left, it's flustered. And they're not ready, despite the molly. No one paying attention to the following emerge of Rez. Now down, 10 seconds, this is done. Esatag confirms it. Shops for a nice rifle of his choosing, and back to spawn with a gap closed. NIP looking to seize the lead of this one. Don't forget, a 10-5 half, but up until those final 3 rounds, we were looking at 10-2. 10-2, NIP building back into this through the CT side.
How many orb kills do you think Rez has so far? Maybe
0.
2, right? It doesn't have a lot. Yeah, it hasn't been an awful lot, but that's the key, and that's very telling. Vertigo's not a map where the AWP is required. You see Zywoo, he will rifle top A ramp as opposed to orbing it, so it's not necessary from Rez. He gets to show the shine.
Brolin inquisitive, doesn't see Stair. Stair is, ooh, over and supreme in the duel.
Yeah, playing around that one way, so risky to try and take that type of a fight, right? Stair, understanding the situation well. We call that one the NAVI.
Big duel for Refresh to win. Hampus going looking in mid and finds nothing but misery. Esatag onto the site, still one, and that's done.
Maybe the save here from NIP. There is a bit of residual cash all over, but this looks like it's going to go the distance here. Bomb's going to get punched on in. Is there going to be a hunt from Sprout? I suppose that's the next question, because this is all but secure right now, as Rez has taken control of the forklift room. He's going to deal with one avenue of the hunt, and Alexi the other. It looks like Sprout aren't interested in moving forward for this. They are doing a great job of battling forward, and if we take a quick look, there's contributors for both sides here. It's been good team efforts, and that's a close game. So this is what we're looking for.
Yeah, now this is Ninja's map pick, right? We have an interesting veto. Ancient second, and then Overpass third, if my memory serves.
Your memory is looking bang on right there, Mr. Richardson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Birchall.
And considering how much Mirage and Inferno you and I have seen without beady eyes, I'm quite happy to get a little bit of a look down a variety of maps.
It's exciting.
We've got a white walled Vertigo, a nice green jungle landscape on Ancient, and then, well, the industrial landscape of Overpass.
Yeah, Germany.
Yeah, well, we like Germany.
I love Germany.
So,
just
we can feel at home.
Not perhaps quite as aesthetic Overpass. There is a party you can have there. We'll see if we get to it.
A picnic?
A picnic, true. A kinder play park. That's children play park. I don't know what. Not talking about the chocolates. Ooh, easy. Rez, info, does have Brolin, and Stair's been getting the better of these two. Oh, he's done it again. Another opener for Sprout's hero. Rifler, nearly 2. Pulls Brolin to 7 HP. The trade unavailable as he does Scarpa. Refresh on Hot Pursuit does go for it. Rez will punish. And a hectic start.
That was the bomb.
Onto Rez, into the site, onto Brolan. This is a high-impact round from Sprout's Orpa. S-Attack starting the flank. Hampus from the front.
He can slow them down. Good util here for Hampus. Wants to take the fight, and now he won't be able to get the flames in line. S-Attack's gone now.
Gone, and Hampus, a very clear place to approach. An accidental team flash, but no harm, no foul. Hampus out of there.
Longs is already ahead of him.
This is for 14. This is for 14. Secure Longs. I want a microphone on that man. He is probably rinsing through his vocal cords every round they find, because Sprout on Ninja's map are within 2 rounds, touching distance now, and looking like the better squad, if I dare say so myself.
Now, according to our X's and O's in the fact sheet here, Longs, the kid you see screaming at the top of his lungs right there, he became the first Romanian CSGO player to make a CSGO Major. He was then joined by IEM from Gamer Legion, who made their way through in towards that challenger stage. We saw them fall at the final hurdle. They managed to go 2-0 up in the best of ones, and the best of threes, that turned out to be their absolute nightmare, but definitely some names for the future.
I was so intrigued to see the subheading of that NIP playbook there. I had my head upside down trying to read it. There was a very apparent subheading from DJL. Damn it. I'm sure some of our investigative journalists will be finding that one out.
Also known as Redditors.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all at home. As we're getting into the final throws of this one right here, and Stair, with the way that he's been dealing with this A ramp, it reminds me when we first saw him bust into the server on Inferno back at Pro League Season 15. We got to watch him play in, well, the bigger leagues. And now this is the biggest league. High
impact round from Slacks previously. If he can hold on to this form, if he can get away with holding the A side alone as his team works elsewhere. Hampus responsible for this mid-crawl. Zyphon, top of the scoreboard, 21. Standard, nade and flash. Hampus blind and spotted. His toes betray him, and Zyphon will make it 22. NIP disadvantage. S-Attack being approached. Needs help. Gets none. Launks another. Caught on the reload. Alexi and Rez. Oops, bit of a team kill. Back and forth we go. 2v3. Launks still needs to get away. It's Brolin. Good for the frag. Still 2-on-2. Where's that second man? Rez on his way back. And bomb ticking. Util. Dry as a bone. But a smoke on Rez could make the difference. I don't see a kit. Unless S-Attack had one. It's a 10-second defuse. They've got to hurry up and quick. Loud. Clear close. Slacks to swing out. Refresh first contact. Calls for it. Does swing out. Perfect time. Hard to manage the spray, but Refresh secures 15. 4 opportunities to take Ninja's map pick away from them. And a stark contrast in names and experience means nothing. Seems to be the trend for today. NIP. They recovered the half, but will they recover this? They need to do it again. You know, we talked about their consecutive run, 3 on the T side finish. They need 4 in consecutive order just to take us to OT.
Yeah, and right here, Barry wants to close it out. Right here, right now, Sprout will take their 4th tactical timeout to have the discussion of how do we get that 16 notched on the board as soon as humanly possible. Well, fortunately, they don't have a whole lot of resistance on the other side of the server here. MP9's looking like it's going to be the headline act of this NIP buy to keep themselves in it.
Great find. The flash, I mean, it's not easy.
So
it's such a tight corner,
wasn't it? Yeah.
Great work. And of course, Slacks chose his moment perfectly on that swing out. Rez just swapped to that one smoke we discussed. Going to be tutting his tongue at the state of affairs, and especially look at the state of their buy. Sprout, no better opportunity than now.
At least Misery loves company. Nobody with a highlight weapon here. Attacks Deagle close the Cloud9 stickers. That's from a lifetime ago, and only 2 bullets to the body. Hampus with the trade, sure, but how much more can he do?
He has no idea. Screen, bright, white. Still, one more for the fight. Good damage, no lethality. Need res to finish the job, and he hasn't. Sprout, open runway to take the Ninja's pick away. Bomb to be planted. Slacks looks for safe haven, does find so. Oh, and Zyphon finds another frag. Brolin's gone, Alexi's gone, and this surely done. Rez, an MP9 and a Deagle to his name. He's found another smoke to play. He might go for the strafe. Gotta be quick about this, too sweet. On the flash, perfect, and Sprout.